Welcome back to another episode here on African Confessions. There is a message that I want to share with you guys, and this is a continuation of a message that we received of the man who was saying that he was once a witch doctor. So this is the latest message that I received. The message reads like this: thank you for your question that you sent me. In my previous email, I did not specify on the evil things that I did because I am not proud of my previous life as a witch doctor. But my brother, I did evil in the eyes of the Lord, things that I am not even proud of, and I want to thank God for shining his light upon my life and taking me out of the bondages of sin. For the sake of your interest, I'll be telling you how I used to work and some of the things that I used to do. And most of these decisions that I took, it was because of money. Do you know that out there is a God of money that is worshipped secretly? Some of your so-called pastors, they actually know that out there is a God of money. And in closed doors, some of your pastors, they do even worship this God of money. And indeed, one thing that I can tell you is that if you pray to this God of money, yes, indeed, he is very faithful. He will give you whatever you need, but he will ask for something in return, a sacrifice for a sacrifice, because the money that he will give to you, you have to give birth to that money. That is why everywhere you go to do some money-making rituals, a sacrifice is done, because that God of money in the spiritual realm, he also have to make some painful sacrifices so that money or magic money can just appear in your wallet. Money will never come out of nowhere. A sacrifice has to be made for another sacrifice to be received. Let me say this again. I am not proud of these things that I did. My place was a place well known that for 365 days, which are given in a year, cars will be parked at my house. A queue of people will be waiting so as to consult with me. I was a powerful man in the dark side, and my client's wish was my command. Sometimes even people that were from the government, there were even soccer players. There was once a coach who came to me, but he was just a school coach. He wanted me to assist him so that I can give him some powers. Some of the soccer players that used to do the rituals that I would perform for them is that, there is that can that is called pilchards. We used to open that can, then we would use the pilchards that will be inside that can. And that soccer player, when he would come to me for the rituals, I would tell him to bring me a new set of boots, those ones that they use when they are playing soccer. Then I will place those pilchards into his soccer boots. So what he was supposed to do is that for 2 or more nights, he was supposed to sleep inside my consultation room whilst he will be wearing his soccer boots. But this thing, it was really painful, because inside his soccer boots, we would have loaded his boots with those pilchards. The reason why we used to place those pilchards inside the soccer player's boots, it was for him to be slippery when he is on the ball, so that no one can take the ball from him. The way that a fish is slippery, that is the same way that he was supposed to be slippery when he will be playing soccer. And a lot of these soccer players that used to come to me for their rituals, I would tell them that I know that they will never be able to observe all of those rules, but they will force me to perform the rules on them. That is why you see that once a soccer player becomes a star, mainly in Africa, then their star will just fade away. Then it will seem as if their gift will just disappear. The reason why the gift will just disappear, it is because most of the soccer players will never be able to observe the rules. Because the rules that I mainly made those soccer players to follow was for them not to have intercourse or to sleep around with any woman especially when they will be drunk. They were supposed to stay faithful to their wives and never to have intercourse even with their wives a day before a match. So most of those soccer players, they are always at parties drinking alcohol and stuff. So they ended up breaking the rules. That is why you see that a soccer player will just rise up and become a star maybe for 2 seasons. Then after that, they will just disappear. All that I wanted from people was money, and I made a lot of money. Men who wanted to do money rituals, a lot of people from higher positions would come and consult with me, and I would give them all that they ever wanted. Some even came and they claimed that they were gospel musicians who wanted some fame. I would do rituals for them, not knowing if wherever they went to, if they ever succeeded or not. Most of these rituals were done by blood. Never let anyone fool you and tell you that no blood is needed, because one day blood will be needed from you. I mean sacrifices. I was more like an angel of darkness. I engineered the death and sacrifices of innocent people. There were even some pastors who were fresh from Bible school who used to come to me who wanted fame. I would assist them with rituals. Some of the roots that I would give to them, I would never even inform them on the rules, because some of the ritualistic sneaks that I had, they were so plenty. So I just wanted a dumping area. If anyone would come to me, I would make sure that I would dump whatever thing that I didn't want. So if anyone would come to me and they would say that they wanted the powers to prophesy, then I would give them some roots, give them some rules and regulations that I know that they will never be able to follow. Once you have broken those rules, then one day you will see that the root that I would have given to you, it will transform itself and it will become a snake, and you will never come back to me. That is why you see most of these people that have done rituals, they will just go everywhere looking for help. You should ask them, why don't they go back to the place where they were given all of these snakes and stuff? The reason why they cannot go there, they are told that if anything happens to you, you should never come back to me, because if you come back, I will make sure that I will take your life. And those people, they mean business. That is why most of the people that come here, they will tell you that at the witch doctor where we went, when I returned back with that stuff, I found out that he was dead. It is just a lie, a white lie that they will be telling you. I know that they cannot go back. On most occasions, they are told that you should never come back. Now, a certain man came to me. This man, he was an elderly man. He had been an auditor at his workplace for so many years, and now the company recruited new interns fresh from varsity. So that man, when he came to me, he felt very threatened by the intern, because that certain intern, when she came, she started poking her nose into everyone's business. So that man, when he came to me, he was really threatened because he had been doing a lot of corruption with a lot of different companies. Sometimes he would even be hired to come and act as if he was auditing their books, but everything was just done through corruption. He asked me to eliminate that intern who was now working at their company, because he was afraid that if this young lady was going to expose everything that he had been doing for many years, then he was going to lose out on his pensions and stuff like that. I only told him that the only thing that I needed from him, if he could get hold of that lady's picture, and he told me that it was going to be very difficult. That is when we came up with an idea. He then searched up the name of that lady on Facebook. He downloaded those pictures. I then sent my boys to make a printout of her pictures that had been downloaded by that man who wanted her life to be ended. After we had made a printout of her pictures, I did a lot of rituals for her to appear in the mirror. There was this other mirror that was given to me, which I could use as a sort of a remote control. I could do any damage to anyone that I wanted in this world. I called that lady to appear in the mirror, and after she had appeared in the mirror, I confirmed with that man if indeed this was the young lady that he wanted to die. When he nodded his head, I told him that she was going to die, and indeed, yes, she died. I did a remote control and she died of a very severe headache. Now that I look at it, it really breaks my heart, because that lady, as I saw her in the mirror, it was as if she was begging for mercy, and at that time, mercy was never in my vocabulary. She kept on looking at me. It was not her physical body which was looking at me, but it was her soul. And I can never forget the way that her soul looked at me as I was busy preparing the herbs and the charms so that I can give that man a needle which he was going to use to stab that young lady straight in her head so that she can die of a severe headache.